Good evening, everybody. Tonight, we're not in a specific location. We are coming to you from a neutral location in the present day. That's right. Everything we've been editing and recording, not everything we've been recording, but everything we've been uploading has been from the past. Which means we're coming to you from the future. We won't tell you where we are, because you have to look forward to that in the coming months and weeks and months. Well, one thing you may notice is that I haven't got a beard anymore.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's quite different now. Thumbs up for shaven Dan.
So yeah, we just kind of wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been watching our videos. We've really appreciated all the support, all the comments, all the likes, the subscribers. And yeah, we just wanted to do a little bit of a fun video, midweek video, about our experiences so far. So far, you will have seen videos going through China, starting in Shanghai, Beijing, Xi'an, and now we are currently up to, well, in terms of the videos, we are at Zhangjiajie. And we really hope you enjoyed seeing part 1 of that. Part 2 of that will be coming very soon. But tonight, we are going to host a little Q&A session. Are you excited?
I am excited. So we don't have anyone asking us any questions. Well, we have friends and family that sometimes ask us questions, but we've decided to use this as like a bit of a time capsule for ourselves, to capture like how we're feeling behind the scenes with long-term travel. So we've decided to write down 3 questions each and ask each other questions about how things have been going.
I hasten to add that neither of us, we swear, neither of us know what the other person's going to ask. They could be questions relating to aspects of travel. They could be relating to certain destinations. We don't know.
Okay, here we go. What is one thing that you've been most surprised about long-term travel?
I think the one thing that I've been perhaps most surprised by so far is the friendliness of people throughout the trip. The friendliness of people who we've never met before. Certainly throughout China, we had a lot of people who were... there were people interested in us, presumably because, well, we're travelers in their country, but also people who would just genuinely help us, genuinely wanted to be our friends, who wanted to talk to us, get to know us, etc. We met Zhuiga on the night train from Shanghai to Beijing, and we're still in touch with him today. He took us out for dinner. He showed us around the pedestrianised shopping street, which I've forgotten the name of. But there have been other instances as well. There was one instance in a destination which I won't mention. It is in China, where our cards wouldn't work for whatever reason. And just out of the blue, a lady just paid for our food. And before I even had a chance to give her back the cash or offer to recompense her, she'd gone. She was like down the road. She said, "It's not a problem. Enjoy your trip in China." We've had other people who have been desperate to have their picture taken with us. And yeah, I guess that's probably the one thing that surprised me the most. I mean, is the genuine friendliness and to some extent curiosity about us.
I think I've been blown away by that too. And that's not to say that we're surprised that people are friendly, because we knew that they would be. But it's the generosity that's far exceeded our expectations. And like Dana said, like multiple people have helped us out and made us feel welcome in China and beyond as well.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn to ask you a question then. I've got 3 questions. Which one shall I ask you first? So my question to you is, how have you coped with living out of a backpack?
Well, so I've gone backpacking before for a short amount of time, and that was great. I found living out of a backpack really difficult. So yeah, living out of a backpack, I found quite difficult, and we actually decided to ditch the backpacks in the end, post them home, and buy suitcases because it was really quite heavy to lug them around, and especially in hot weather, it just made me feel a bit miserable. However, I would say that like what I did end up packing, I felt like the backpack size, it was a 40-litre backpack, made me really pare down what I brought. And I think, except for maybe 1 or 2 items, I use everything that I brought. Now I've got the suitcases, they're bigger, they're 65 litres, so I actually have space to like buy extra bits and bobs as I've needed along the way. So how have I felt living out of a backpack? The backpack itself wasn't good, but now that I've got this new setup, living out of a suitcase is actually pretty good. I think sometimes though, like there are things like it's nice to like I'm not really a big clothes person, but it is sometimes if you're in a certain situation, it's nice to have the options, and the options are quite limited. So I do find that difficult. But sorry, that's really long-winded. I don't know if you've got anything to add to that.
I think for me, I kind of went. I bought a lot of stuff that I thought I was going to need. I bought running shoes. I bought things like that. I I didn't really bring anything expecting it to be cold. So, leaving that open to a risk, given that, in the winter months. And I also kind of went with the intention of getting souvenirs and things and buying things as I went. So I think I was always going to try and get some other kind of luggage, but I didn't anticipate. Yes, I also sent my backpack home. We both sent our backpacks home from a destination that shall not be named. We both switched to suitcases. I think I did it first, and then Rachel was like, you know what? Yeah, good idea. Cool. Okay, so so I guess it's your turn.
Oh yeah. Okay, which one? What has been the biggest obstacle that you have overcome?
Yeah, the biggest obstacle I think I've personally had to overcome is I'm very much kind of a gung-ho kind of person. I throw myself into things, and I do evaluate the risks, but I'm willing to kind of go headfirst into a lot of situations. But I think what is important is that every so often I need to take a step back and think to myself, okay, I might be in that headspace, but you might not necessarily be in that headspace. You're more planning, you're more precise, and you like to know how things are kind of going to go, I think. So it's important for me to kind of like step back and sort of think, okay, let's not go head first into these situations. Let's instead sort of discuss it, work it out, and then we get greater enjoyment out of it because we've had that kind of conversation and whatnot. Because we've planned it and worked it out together. I need to be a better listener, and I need to be sort of more cohesive traveler, I guess. I wouldn't say I ignore the risks, but I perhaps as I think one thing I say to you all the time is like that we need to cover each other's blind spots, and I think that's what we've been doing. It's
a strange thing because we're trying to live in the present and do all the things. We're also reflecting by putting these videos out there as well. So we're looking in the past, but we're also planning. Some things are planned, but some things are not planned in the future as we go. And it's hard to balance all three of those things yeah, and to be able to set aside time for planning is quite difficult sometimes when it's all go, and it's all great. Don't get me wrong, it's all great, but it can be a lot.
Awesome. Well, so question number 2 for you then. What has been your least favorite dish of so far up to Zhangjiajie?
Yeah.
Up to and including Zhangjiajie, because I think I know what the answer is going to be.
Yeah, straight away I know. And it was actually the night that we arrived in Zhangjiajie. So you already know. We went to this lovely little restaurant and didn't really know what we were ordering, and ended up with a hot pot full of chicken feet.
I know it was duck.
Duck feet.
It was. We ordered a hot pot, and it came over a stove, and it was duck, but it was gizzards, it was liver, it was neck, it was the lot. You enjoyed it, right?
Well, I am bringing it up as my answer, so I can't really say yes at this point. I don't want to offend anyone who might like this dish, but it just wasn't for me.
If I recall, I think there was a family of people who walked past us and took the time to look at our food and talk to us. And we kind of thought, oh, maybe they like what we've ordered, but I don't think so. I think they were like, I can't believe they've ordered it.
Yeah, it felt like that they'd said that, so maybe we just had a misorder. So yeah. But love Chinese food. I think my top meal, if we're looking at the flip side, was actually the Peking duck. That was really, really tasty. It was like, it just melted in your mouth. It was amazing. Also loved all the dumplings, all the noodles. Yeah, there was so much to love about Chinese food.
So I hasten to add, we do like duck. We actually really, really like duck,
Yeah.
just not the gizzards.
Yeah. So now we've cleared that up, I'll ask you my final question. What advice would you have for someone that was about to head off on long-term travel who hasn't done it before?
Okay. First and foremost, it's never too late. It's never too late to start and go traveling. I don't think that because you're locked in a job or whatever, it doesn't mean it shouldn't mean that you can't go traveling. And with the right level of planning, with the right level of organisation, and I'm very selective on those words there. It has to be the right level of planning. And I guess I can't quantify that. Obviously, there's going to be things like visas and things that you're going to need to sort out, and you're going to need to make sure you know the entry requirements for each country you're going to. Plan, but don't over-plan. Don't meticulously plan every single day. You've got to allow for some element of surprise. You've got to allow for some element of kind of like the unexpected, because that is what traveling's all about, in my opinion. I'm always keen when I film on my Insta360 camera to capture the moment. Try and because anyone can just film a destination. Anyone can kind of say, "Oh, look, here's a place." But for me, it's always been about how we react to things, how we react to tastes, how we react to smells, how we react to certain experiences. And I think that is one thing I would say. It's essential to have that unexpected. So to kind of recap on the answer to that question, it's never too late. Allow yourself to be thrown into it. Do the right amount of planning. Make sure you've got everything you need to enter each country, but also leave some room for the unexpected.
Yeah, that's great advice. What can I say?
I have one more question. It's a bit more of a light-hearted one. Maybe, yes, our audience does not know that Rachel's a massive Disney fan. She loves Disneyland. So, with that in mind, how did Disney Shanghai measure against all the other Disneylands?
I thought it was really good. Yeah, it lived up to the expectations. It's a massive park, has a huge castle, and lots of rides that you can't find anywhere else. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I think the only thing that can sometimes be disappointing at Disney is if a ride is closed. So there were a couple that we wanted to do that we couldn't. It was fantastic. I loved it. I'd go again. I just take good walking shoes because it is a much bigger park than I think all of the others. It's a bit more spread out, but it was amazing. In particular, I think a favourite of mine was Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
It was fantastic.
Yes, and you can literally watch our experience of that on the video. So if you haven't had a chance, then do go back and watch that one. Cool. Well, that was a lot of fun. I hasten to add, we haven't rehearsed this at all. We've just kind of thought, do you know what? We want to do something that that is kind of a bit more like opening us up to you guys, I guess. If you've enjoyed this, though, like, please submit questions in the comments, and we'll try and do another one in the future. Yeah, have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I have. I was quite nervous about doing this. When am I not nervous? But it's quite nice to reflect and think about our experience, like from the future, looking back to the past. I don't really know. I'm just rambling now. So I think maybe we should sign off somehow.
I can't exactly say let's go, which is what I would normally say. So instead, I will say, yeah, please like and subscribe to our channel to see more content. We've got lots more content on the way. Yeah, you're going to love it. And stay tuned. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.